There's been a number of characters who've made their way to the main DC universe over the years, and many of them are now entering Warner Bros. Discovery's live-action franchise too. Among them is a superhero team, the Justice Society of America. It seems that this iconic group of heroes will be making its way to the Flash movie soon. In today's video, we'll discuss all this and more. So let's dive right in. First off, the JSA Heroes entry into The Flash was confirmed in the prequel comic. For those who may not be aware, the upcoming The Flash movie received its very own prequel comic, and it's in this comic that we get to learn about the JSA character who will be making his way to the big screen. The issue shows us Barry Allen holding a book that's titled Ted Grant's Guide to Boxing. While the name might not mean much to most, observant JSA fans knew that this was in fact a reference to a fan favorite character, Wildcat, also known as Ted Grant. He was introduced as a DC character back in the 1942's first issue of Sensational Comics. Grant is a heavyweight boxer who's known to be a member of the Justice Society of America for literal decades. Over the years, he's been a tutor and mentor to a number of iconic DC characters, including the Black Canary. While it isn't outright confirmed that we'll see Ted in the Flash movie, this Easter egg surely wasn't added just for the sake of it, right? We think there's a good chance the character is being teased to indicate his entry into the DCEU. Plus, the HBO Max currently working on Black Canary's solo movie, it only makes sense that Wildcat would appear in the movie franchise sooner or later. Also, the Black Adam producer, Hiram Garcia, told Variety back in 2020 that he was keen to introduce the Justice Society of America to the DCEU. So it makes sense that those plans are finally in play now. Adding to this, who are some other JSA heroes we could see in the DCEU? The DCEU is expanding, and it's high time we got a few more JSA characters into the mix. Some of our top picks for the franchise include Green Lantern. As the founder of the JSA, he's an important character that we think deserves to be added to the live-action adaptation. There's also Stargirl, who follows in the footsteps of the second Starman, Jack Knight. She's a young superhero who's been featured in a couple of other teams like Young Justice and the Justice League. Another classic JSA character is Jakeem Thunder. The superhero was originally paired with Johnny Thunder and was the reason behind the character's magical abilities, but over time the character got his own time to shine in the sun, becoming Jakeem Thunder. He's one of the most classic JSA characters, and so we'll definitely think he'd be a great fit for the DCEU. Of course, not everyone in the JSA is super heroic. Some, like the Spectre, operate in realms of the anti-hero. The Spectre has a bunch of godlike superpowers and is connected to Earth through a human host. Finally, we'd love to see Mr. Terrific in the DCEU too. He's easily the most intelligent hero in the comics, and even rivals the likes of Wonder Woman and Batman with his sheer intellect. The character was shown to us in Arrow when Echo Kellum portrayed him during the show's final 4 seasons. It's unlikely we'll see all these characters in The Flash or Black Adam, but with Wildcat and Black Canary on the way, we think that'll naturally pave the way for more additions over time. Next, are we even getting the Flash movie? The Flash movie has been in the middle of a number of controversies, many of which can be credited to its lead actor, Ezra Miller. Throughout the past year, Miller's been on a, let's just say, villainous spree of crimes. From assault to burglary, the actor's actions are becoming increasingly problematic. Because of this, Warner Bros. Laid out a very clear set of options. Despite everything that had been done, the studio stated that if Ezra was willing to seek professional assistance while also apologizing for the recent activities, then it was all water under the bridge. Never mind all the crimes they committed, that's show business. Of course, they went with this route. The 29-year-old actor would have to come forward and explain their behavior in an interview, but the movie would release and they'd get to remain the Flash. The second option was if Ezra didn't apologize. In this case, the movie would be released with minimal press, and Miller would be removed as the actor for the Flash in subsequent projects. Lastly, and perhaps the least optimistic of the 3 options, stated that the studio could straight up cancel the entire film. That would only happen in the case that Ezra's actions continued to decline and their sheer presence in the movie made it unmarketable. It's quite clear that none of these options are ideal, especially for a movie that supposedly has a budget of nearly $200 million. But from the looks of it, it's all WB has really got left to do. Following up on this, which options did the studio eventually pick? Despite Ezra's recent actions, it's clear that Warner Brothers hasn't dissolved their relationship with the actor. In fact, all throughout the summer, the studio was apparently filming scenes with the actor for the Flash movie. Yes, this was during the actor technically being on the run from law enforcement. Though with their 3 laid out options, it definitely seemed like they were finally putting their foot down, and from the looks of it, things are turning around for Miller. We think the threat of having the film get scrapped served as a wake-up call for them and helped Ezra realize they were in need of some serious help. The actor has come forward since then and has delivered a public apology for their behavior. During this, they stated that they're facing complex mental health issues and said sorry to anyone who they've hurt with their actions. The studio seems to be working with them once again, and reports even claim that the actor was called for a meeting with the company's higher-ups. They supposedly discussed the future of both the film and Ezra's place in the DCEU. So for now, it seems that Warner Brothers is setting everything aside and moving on. And part of why they're so willing to do this is likely related to CEO David Zaslav's plan to reset the DC film universe. The CEO stated that he wanted to shake up the film division, and we think the plot elements of the Flash movie could help in bringing about this reset. It explained why WB wasn't willing to lose out on this movie, no matter what. And with that, let's discuss some related news. Now, in other news. Coming up, Ezra Miller claimed they would lead an indigenous revolution. According to Vanity Fair, the Flash star has a bit of a messiah complex. Sarah Jumping Eagle, the mother of Takata Iron Eyes, who the actor is accused of grooming, said that Miller thinks of himself to be some kind of messiah, and that they believe they're going to lead an indigenous revolution. The actor seemingly has major superhero aspirations in real life. Ezra's history with Dakota is a bit disturbing. The young social activist's parents filed a protective order against them on behalf of their daughter. This was after grooming allegations had surfaced against the actor. An insider even claimed that Miller apparently stated that they walk through this world with indigenous humanity and spiritual awareness. But according to the source, the fact is that they don't know anything about the culture, and they don't care. If you're wondering, no, Ezra has no Native American ancestry. Next, The Rock apparently considers Zack Snyder's Justice League canon. The DCEU has been a mess in regards to what is canon storyline and what isn't, and it seems that even the actors are picking and choosing sides at this point. The Rock apparently became the people's champion when he recently revealed that he considers the Snyder cut of the Justice League as canon. This tidbit was shared with us by artist John Waynick, who's worked on the upcoming Black Adam film. The actor hasn't made his love for Zack's work a secret, and he's been dropping hints of it being made canon recently, so it'll be interesting to see if Snyder's cut still has a future in the DCEU. Finally, Aquaman and Shazam sequel hint that the DCEU won't fully reboot. The future of DC films is up in the air at this point, but Warner Brothers has stated that they're working on a 10-year plan with someone like Kevin Feige leading it this time. But to start it off, they're looking to reboot the franchise and begin mostly from scratch. However, it's clear with movies like Aquaman and Shazam getting a sequel, we're likely not looking at a complete reboot. This makes us wonder just what they'll get scrapped and what'll stay. Both these movies have recently been delayed, and it's possible that changes are being made in their scripts to make room for this potential rebooting. While it's uncertain where they'll stand after the reboot is said and done, we think it's likely both these characters will still have a future in the DCEU. That's a wrap for this video. Which JSA characters would you like to see in the DCEU next? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.